Check. Check 212. Check 212, guys. Check 212. Let me check and see how we are doing. Are we live? What's Bitcoin doing now? Bitcoin is going down a little bit. We're going to talk about that, guys. We're going to talk about a lot of things. But first, I have decorated my studio a bit more. We got some Christmas decoration again in the back. And we, added some more lights as well. So I hope, guys, we're heading into that beautiful, beautiful center rally. But first and foremost, welcome. Don't forget to strap in and, of course, hit that like button. We're getting very close to 10,000 subscribers. I'm a bit unlucky, though, guys. I've just got logged out and blocked from X, so I can't show you, unfortunately, a few things I wanted to show you. But this video, I also want to talk about the x402 Hackathon. And also some new people actually working at Cronos Labs. That's the topic of today. It's also what we're going to show very soon in the blog post I'm still looking for, because it's still have a Cronos blog. I need to find it though, the Cronos newsletter. Ah, there we go. Welcome, guys. Welcome. How are you? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're feeling. Shall we start with the chat today, or with not the chat, with the, how's it called again? Shall we start today with the charts? Why not? I see Star Fox. I see the Coin Baroness. Welcome. Sabadovst. Teddy. One day we will be by the moon. I hope so. Let's start with the charts first. Let's do that. Welcome, guys. Björn as well. Good to see you again. I also saw you earlier. So, interesting hour. What just happened a few minutes ago, before we started the stream, we had quite a big dump all the way from about 92 to about 91, which is a relatively big dump in an hour, going down minus $1,000. Well, Bitcoin is back up again. So we talked about this in many videos, but I do believe that the first time we had struggles breaking into the green box here, but now it seems like the green box wants to hold. That's, of course, guys, what we're going to check in this video. I do believe the green box is strong and the bulls are in the town. It's honestly amazing what we've seen the last week with this spectacular dump. I can't say anything else. We went down from 92 minus 10% in only about one day. That was crazy. But the overall structure is actually really bullish for Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about CRO, guys, in a minute, but I want to start by saying that we are creating here, simply said, a higher low. A late to the classroom. So I'm going to tell you the story quickly. So I tried to decorate everything here. Everything fell apart, and you can still see the center head is still a bit muffled. But everything fell apart when I was decorating the studio, so that was why. I also the stock ticker completely broke. Ugh. Anyways, we're back in the green box again. We're now above 92k, guys. I do believe that this is the most important part, that we are bouncing now on support line within the green box. And as I mentioned, we're going to fill it. We're going to fill the complete green box at some point. So that means a rally to at least $99,000. And that will be crucial. So again, when I say strap in, it's not because I say that to have some fun, right? It's because it's going to be a crazy wild ride. That's my belief. Oh, by the way, it works again. Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome. I see Kevin Crow. Good evening, guys. Feeling bullish after this week. I too. And I had everything prepared on X, but let me just share with you what they mentioned. So the Binance team is now doing the Binance blockchain week. And you guys might not like Binance, you guys might not like BNB, but they are definitely a very influential company, the Binance company. About 60 to 70% of all trading volume is going through Binance. The BNB token, also a massive token. Binance also is the parent company above CoinMarketCap. Binance has crazy companies like, for example, Aster they created. Binance is very, very influential. I would even make the argument that Binance is the most influential company in all of crypto. And what they recently said during the Binance Blockchain Week is that they expect another bullish rally in Q1 of 2026. And if they say so, there is definitely speculation that they could potentially also manipulate the price just to follow what they want it to do. Guys, again, Binance, they can't be underestimated. Sabadov's like, yeah, Binance is the biggest scam. But the good part about scams in this case then is that they might be scamming the bears now. Everybody is yelling, the bull market is over, the bull market is over. I haven't seen that many influencers agreeing on the fact that, yeah, we might be in a bear market. The 4-year cycle, as seen here, it's pretty much over time-wise. So they might be scamming the bears, and I don't mind. I don't mind if they are scamming the bears. And I think nobody should really care. Dirty, dirty bears. No time for discount yet. Discount will have to wait until we have a truly euphoric phase where also altcoins can actually get some momentum. And altcoins are having, a rough time still. We do have Bitcoin dominance flip-flopping now between green and red here. So that means that altcoins aren't showing the most strength now. It's still Bitcoin leading the rally. But most recently, we can see that also Ethereum is now back above 3,000. Ethereum is I would say the best gouge. I think gouge is the word in English. Gouge, the best gouge. You see how the overall temperature is like in the altcoin room. CZ makes Chris look like a joke in crypto. I don't think so. I think Chris is seen by Trump. Trump kind of knows who Chris is. He met Chris at least. CZ, he didn't know. He was just a guy that he gave a pardon, though. Cookie saying that, well, CZ holds about 80% of BNB, as I have heard. So if the unburned vesting is complete, CDC will now hold about 60+%. Maybe then also you might see a $1,000 crow. That would be, I would say, the best bear scam ever. Let's do that. The best bear scam ever, guys. Pure manipulation, but we don't cry in the casino. Hey, John. What's up? I'm strapped in. John was also saying we're in a bear market and alt season was cancelled due to Bitcoin taking the show. But in 2026, we'll end the bear market and we'll go to the moon. That would be a very short bear market, but I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Welcome back. What's up? What do you think about the new team members of Cronos? That's actually a good question. Let's talk about that quickly though. What's the Crow price doing? Crow is still acting according to the plan. If we take here the rainbow chart, it's still basically following the timeline. And we talked about this, right? Like at about this week in November, we should be at the bottom of the rainbow chart. At some point though, now we should see reversal as well. But maybe we hit the bottom like 1 week early. But it's overall, guys, still following quite well. So far, this fractal has been following the overall structure for how many weeks? 30 weeks. More than half a year. More than half a year. And I think if I was honest, actually, I think we can even get a bit more. I think we could even get a bit more of this overall structure because, as you can see, right, just before the fractal copy started, we also had a massive rally. If you also include this part here, I think we are actually quite well aligned. You can see, right? It's basically tracking it for a year now, which is really, really interesting. Anyway, so it's so far still all going according to plan, which I really, really do like. But as mentioned, we do need to see a rally. And I think, as I talked about, Bitcoin is now at a range where I do believe it can get strength to pump all the way towards $99,000. That's good. Is the tree getting shorter? I might... yeah, it kind of fell. I might need to use my magic spell here. I hope it doesn't shrink even more. Terry strapping in. Smash though. Well, we'll see Crow go crazy. I think we're getting right on the cusp, UBA, of something like that happening. But of course, guys, I can't do any financial advice. I just see a lot of positive signs. We talked about the death cross. Do you guys remember that we talked about the death cross? I do. And what I said to you guys is that basically, when we had the death cross, that was the cross of the 50 week, the 50 day, the blue one, and the 200 day, which is now also a blue one, which is very confusing. So let me make a different color. Make it yellow. And I told you guys that basically, often, when we have a death cross, we also get a bottom, or very, very close to a bottom. This was the death cross here. This was a death cross. This should be a death sign. Okay, I can't draw in here. But you can see, right, that after the death cross, it only took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. 6 days to go from the death cross to the bottom. The last time this occurred, it was also very close to that. You can see the death cross occurred over here. And 3 days later, we had the bottom. And the time before that, we already had the death cross earlier. So sometimes it happens... Wait, that's not the death cross. That's the golden cross. We had the death cross. And the death cross was just after the low. And that's also the golden cross. What's happening here? This is the death cross. No, this is the... Yeah, this is the death cross. I think he needs some more sleep. What's up, guys? We got 300 registrations for the hackathon. I'm going to talk about that, guys, in a minute. But first, I think we had a very good question by Crush. And Crush was talking about the new team. And we have a new team for Cronos Labs. And I think, guys, it's important to talk about the new staff. Why is that? Because especially people here that are fulfilling a role like head of ecosystem, they are pushing for growth. And that is what Cronos needs. Not only the Crow token, but also the Cronos ecosystem. And it's my belief that if we see growth of the Cronos ecosystem, we also see growth of the Crow price. I think it's that simple. It's a bit of the flywheel, right? The more the ecosystem grows, the better also the token will perform. So somebody like Edward, the new head of ecosystem, has a very important role to play. Now, of course, I hope he also has a team around him. I don't hope he's like the sole person responsible for this. But let's read a bit more about his appointment here. We're not going to make a separate video about this, but I think it's really important though. So Cronos Labs on the 2nd, on 212 by the way, announced the appointment of Edward Elliott as the head of ecosystem, where he will drive ecosystem growth, but also strategic partnerships and the next phase of institutional tokenization and AI-driven on-chain innovations on the Cronos network. So a lot of buzzwords, but this can actually work. And of course, AI is still a narrative that we need to join as well. So more ecosystem, more institutions, and also more strategic partners for Cronos. And we already have a few very strong partners, like for example, AWS, like Google, and of course, Crypto.com. So Edward, what's his experience like? We can see that Edward joins Cronos with a unique blend of Web 2, operating scale, and also Web 3 ecosystem leadership. Most recently, he served as the CEO of InstaLabs, operating a regulated institutional cross-chain bridge. Institutional cross-chain bridge. So he knows how Web3 works. He has Web3 experience because he worked basically on multi-chain bridges. So this guy is actually really important, bringing liquidity over from different multi-chains as well. So I think that's already a good one. He also was the CEO. So this is maybe a bit of a step back, but I don't know, honestly. I might need to look up InstaLabs. I couldn't find their X account because, guys, again, my X account locked me out. That's unfortunate. So besides working at this company, he also worked as business development, a VP of growth and business development at Tezos. And you guys might remember Tezos. Let me quickly bring it up here on CoinMarketCap. So Tezos was actually wildly successful back in 2021. Where's Tezos now? Well, I have to look up Tezos because Tezos, unfortunately, well, Edward, guys, he left. He left Tezos and Tezos is no longer really relevant. Where is Tezos? I think it's currently, here it is, rank 91 at about 50 cents. During the prime, Tezos went to $9. $9 over here in October 2021. Unfortunately, from that point onward, it went down. And now I think it's about 90%. Even more, it's 95% below the high. I can't say much though, because of course, if you take a look at the CRO price, it's been performing better than Tezos, that's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, during the time that Edward worked at Tezos, and I don't know, of course, if it's just him being there, but during his time, it went to $9. So maybe a bit of luck, but maybe also he played his role there. When he worked at Tezos, he led the ecosystem strategy and chaired the Tezos Foundation Investment Committee, directing capital toward high impact builders and also infrastructure. And it's actually quite interesting. I hope he also will continue doing this in his current role at Cronos, because I do believe we need also more capital investments in different companies wanting to build on Cronos. Hi, Coin Baron. Have you heard about the MicroStrategy hypothetical black swan? Yeah, I heard about it. It's a good topic, but also I would say, like I mentioned earlier, I think in different streams, it is also highly unlikely. It's the same kind of event, and I would even say this is worse. So you might have heard the news of the Tether Foundation maybe going bankrupt. If that's the case, guys, all of your stable coins probably will lose their peg. Or not lose their peg. USDT would become worthless. And what's the rough part about USDT becoming worthless? Well, unfortunately, a lot of longs or shorts are also often linked towards USDT. So let's say USDT loses value, then also the whole ecosystem probably would have a very hard time recovering from this. However, Bitcoin will keep working. Bitcoin will keep working. The Cronos chain will keep working. It would be a blast. It would be very bad, but it won't happen. Same thing I would say with MicroStrategy. There was so much FUD, so fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the topic really of MicroStrategy having a hard time. It's always the same. It was also the same during the bear market lows of 2022 and also in 2023. Exact same fears. They got so much Bitcoin and they also have quite a big amount of debt, right? But they have sufficient collateral and they know what they're doing. It's a, like, if any treasury company is safe, it is most likely Strategy. It is most likely Strategy. The other treasury companies, though, well, that's a different topic. But I do believe that definitely MCGA is one of the safer ones. The market would tank very hard. He looks like Coin Baron's brother. No! You're the second person saying this. Is it really, guys? Are we so similar? Take a look at him. Him? Me. Him? Me. Okay, I see it myself as well. God damn it, he's sexy though, isn't he? He's a sexy man. Yeah. What about the Cronos roadmap? The Cronos roadmap is still... I made a video about it a while back, QBA. Like, the roadmap is still... They made a new roadmap a while back. And it's not like a traditional roadmap. It's more like goals. That's Coinbaron's older brother. Well... as I mentioned, he's good looking. He's good looking, isn't he? My older brother also worked before Web3 at Amazon. So Amazon, big company, of course, big tech. Where he held several leadership roles across the UK and the EU. Interesting. Edward actually lives in, I believe, London, UK. And therefore, guys, that's actually quite interesting because typically the majority of the Cronos team works and lives in the Asia region, talking Hong Kong. I think the majority of them works in Hong Kong, also near the headquarters of Crypto.com. If anyone doesn't know, Hong Kong is the headquarter of Crypto.com. That's also where Cronos is. I believe they are also headquartered. Some people, of course, work from home. I do believe it's the same here with Edward. But it's really good that we have somebody also living in the EU time zone. Because simply said, if you want to make a deal, if you want to make a deal with Americans, if you want to make a deal with Europeans, sometimes you need to be like available during daytime or their daytime, their morning. The EU is somewhat well positioned between Asia and also between the US. So a bit of the best of both here. Anyways, so he worked at Amazon, earning expanded responsibility to oversee Amazon Money Store. Never heard about this. But he also led the EU operations for Prime Video free content. Also, this one I don't know exactly what the free content is, but still pretty cool. Supporting multi-country expansion and driving global operations improvement across Amazon video supply chain. He knows about video, that's for sure. Like, the thing is, guys, let's be honest, like the whole resume thing, I think he's a good guy, right? I think he's a good guy, but let's not make it too big. If I would make an article about myself, I would also say I worked a pivotal role in the expansion of digital adoption across multiple field engineers. Basically, I provided mechanics with an iPad and an app. But it was pivotal. It was pivotal, guys. That's my experience in IT. I actually done a bit more, but let's say it like that. So he's saying the following thing. I'm excited to join Cronos Labs at a pivotal moment. Okay, he's also saying pivotal. At a pivotal moment for the network. Cronos has an active community. Agree. Strong technical foundation. Agree. And proven high performance infrastructure. Also agree, guys. Cronos at this point is super quick, super fast, and honestly super cheap. It's basically like Solana, but with the added benefits of being EVM compatible. So you might have heard the news that today or yesterday we got the Fukushima, I think Fukushima upgrade for Ethereum, bringing a lot of ease of use updates to Ethereum. And all these upgrades can also easily come from Ethereum to Cronos. So, best of both worlds. Cheap, fast, but also actually good. The next chapter, though, and this is interesting, is about accelerating ecosystem growth by deploying cutting-edge new use cases that drive an increase of users, liquidity, and builders. I believe Cronos is uniquely positioned to benefit from the maturing of global crypto regulation due to its institutional-ready stack, compliance-ready primitives, and opportunity to more deeply partner with Crypto.com. His first week, and this is already like the best sentence you could say. Cronos has been born thanks to father and mother Crypto.com. And I do believe they should be hand in hand almost daily. Cronos and Crypto.com. Big, deep partnership. That's what we need. Also, I like this. He looks for deploying new use cases to drive more users, liquidity, and builders. How he's going to do this, that's of course the question he needs to answer himself, but it's truly exciting. It is truly exciting. Guys, welcome. CRO is sitting at about 10.7 cents. As mentioned, Bitcoin is hovering nicely here at the green box. This will be if you close today here, like over here, this will be a crazy good daily close. And I believe we can do that. I believe we can close at about $92,000. Jayhon, welcome. What's up? I'm missing a few messages, guys, so let me get up to speed. Bjorn is asking, I'm curious to see how many people will register for the hackathon. Also a crazy topic to talk about, guys. Let me quickly go to that news here. You can see we got here the hackathon, and I think we talked a bit about this, but this, guys, is one of those things that he's been talking about, Edward. Edward talked about bringing new use cases to Cronos. And a little bit of alpha here. I'm going to join. I'm going to build. I'm going to build my own application on Cronos. And I won't make a token. I won't make a token, don't you worry. No token launched. I won't be getting you guys for liquidity. I won't rug pull you guys. I'm just going to make the application. And it will run on CRO. That's the idea, at least. Why no Lambos? I think Lambo season is still coming, sir. When Lambo season comes, we will see this this massive drop in Bitcoin dominance. But yeah, the hackathon is happening very soon. It will start with the building phase on November 27th. But it will end only 23rd of January. And the winner will get a good prize. I'm talking about thousands of dollars, so that's actually quite good. And like I mentioned, it's open to everyone. I think already Cookie answered the question by Bjorn. How many people registered? So far, we got about 300 registrations, according to the live stream today. That's good. And today they have at least 301 with me added as well. So what is this hackathon about? So hackathon, what is a hackathon? Basically, it's a developer contest to make the best cool application. But typically with a hackathon as well, it is like you are collaborating. Like you show your application to others. There are workshops. You talk, you collaborate, you ideate, you think out loud, right? But it's also a marathon. Well, it's a contest in a set amount of time. So everyone has the same amount of time to start building and start delivering. And you can actually ask questions to the Cronos team. You can get additional tooling. You can get additional shoutouts. Like it's pretty cool. So honestly, if you guys are having a great idea and you also want to build on Cronos, I would say try it out. And I'm saying this here to anyone that's listening because I think many of you guys have like a great idea and they're afraid they can't build it. And I would say to anyone out there, we're living in a different age now. We're living in the age of information, the age of AI, and I think you can do it. If you have a great idea, you can do it, you can make it, you can build it yourself. And if you don't know exactly what you're doing, that's exactly why this is great. You can ask questions. You have office hours with Cronos Labs. You have workshops, you have a quick start guide, sample code, integration doc. Like, even if you don't win, it's a great learning experience. That's all I want to say about this, guys. It's starting soon. Registration is now live. You can now register until the 11th of December. Then building starts, and then we have the winner in the week of the 2nd of February. So pretty cool, guys. Make sure you check also the live stream. And if you want to build anything, please let me know. I'm definitely willing to, talk about it. We can talk about it in our Discord. The link is in the description down below. And also, we don't talk about only the hackathon there. We talk about Christmas trees. We talk about the prizes. We talk about whatever you guys like, if it's somewhat Cronos related. And also, we've seen John here. John is bearish. We're in a bear market, but that's the place, right? If you want to talk with anyone about your feelings, about your ideas, and the thing is, nobody truly knows, but we can try to have a discussion, check if your ideas or your feelings or your predictions are based on the right merits. We do all those things on the Discord. And we also got some people, you know, sharing some interesting charts, for example. I also tend to give some updates, for example, on what's happening in the market, like short term. And I'm wrong sometimes. Sometimes I'm right. I share a bit more on the Discord. Cookie is saying the cycle chance for the bull maybe is the same for the bear. I would say, like, I'm still 60% bear bull, like maybe even more. 65% bull, 35% bear. With the overall structure, Hackley, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Guys, we're getting so close to 10,000. So please don't forget to hit the like button and like Hackley, strap in for more videos, subscribe. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the biggest channel, actually, that still covers Cronos. What was I talking about? Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin a bit more because, like I mentioned before, Bitcoin is basically creating... that's actually not good. I need to remove this line here quickly because it's getting too cluttered. Basically, Bitcoin is still creating those higher lows. So the structure, the bullish structure is still intact. Anyone else saying that the bullish structure is no longer intact is simply wrong. We are creating higher lows. And recently also we created a higher high. So if we take a look at the short term, the only bearish thing that I could say about this is that we might potentially be creating here a bit of a bull flag, a bear flag. And what's a bear flag? Like we talked about this often in the bullish case, but this is a bear flag. If it is going to be a bear flag, so if we break to the downside here, then we have a bearish target, because a breakout here, a bearish breakdown, will bring us all the way to about 60, 65, 60-ish. That will be the bear market case. But I don't know if this is going to be a bear flag. But that's the... We have to talk about both opportunities, right? But then it's all about probabilities. Sabadav is saying, well, fundamentally, the bull market is not over. QT just ended, so no more money retraction. We got the ETFs, we got the stimulus checks, we got the crypto reserves, we got Bitcoin dominance still being very high. We got Fed cutting rates, we got the fundamentals are just being crazy for the next 4 to 5 months, especially for an altcoin season. I tend to agree there. Like fundamentally, Sabadovs, I don't know why we should be heading into a bear market. Fundamentally. Also, we talked a lot about this, guys. The total free is still holding on perfectly. It's still sitting still. Doing great so far. Gold. Gold is an interesting story. Let me quickly give you here the gold daily, because I thought we were close to a breakout here, but what happened with this chart? I don't know what happened with this chart here, but the question is that we get a break out here to the higher level. I don't know what happened with this line. Anyways, so gold is still hovering at the previous high here. This will be a very crucial time for gold, for risk off assets in general. Then we also do have the S&P. So what's the S&P doing? The S&P is still very, very close to an all-time high. Very, very close. You can see that yesterday, green day. Today, so far, the American stock market opened in the red. But just a slight red day so far. The day's not over. We're talking, though, about a small red candle. It's nothing too significant, though. Overall, in the week, we're still green. And we're inching closer and closer to a new all-time high, also for the S&P 500. I can't be bearish in such an environment. I can't be bearish. Pro to 7 cents, then back up. I don't think so. Yeah. Like worst case, guys. We get something like we had on the 10th. But my belief is that we will close the week. If no black swan. Like if if we get the explosion of MicroStrategy, maybe. But I think we'll hold on to the rainbow chart. The rainbow chart is simply said, guys, too important. You can see it holds on always. It always holds on here to this line. We held here. We held here. We held here. And I think we're holding again at about 10.2 cents. That's why I don't think that 7 cents is likely. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we get... Some people say we might fill the wick. We might fill the wick here. That means we're going down additional 35%. Maybe. Are you farming the MetaMask airdrop? No, sir. I have to. This airdrop, I think it can't be good. It's too popular. It's too big. It can only be disappointing if you ask me. So I'm not bothering. It's too much hassle at this point. Crush is saying we need some more good dApp incentives. I believe so, and I think exactly that with things like, for example, here the hackathon, they're going into the right direction. Give those micro grants, like $42,000. It looks like a lot, but if you can get some energy back in the chain, I think it's peanuts. This is absolute peanuts. I think for a senior dev, like a yearly salary of a senior dev, that's like maybe half a year's salary. I don't know exactly what the salaries are like in Hong Kong, but it's not that much. Burner buyback. I haven't heard anything news about that. The last thing we know about the burn of the CRO token is that it's still coming. And okay, I'm gonna give you guys a bit of alpha. Don't spoil this too much because we're gonna do a complete video about this tomorrow. But let me quickly go to mcga.com. Let me go to mcga.com. I want to show you something very cool. But tomorrow the big video. But for people here watching live, bit of alpha. So I showed you this video or this slide deck in the video recently. But take a look at this here. Take a look at not this. There we go. CRO, the native token of the Cronos network. And this, guys, for anyone wondering what's the slide deck from, the slide deck is coming from mcga.com. This is our own prospectus for investors. This slide deck is made by the MCJ company. And of course, it's partially run also by crypto.com. But they mention here, fixed supply. Cronos has a maximum of 100 billion tokens. But this is the big kicker here. A design intended to be inflationary. Or deflationary. This can only mean one thing. This means exactly what QBA was talking about. Burning. You cannot be a deflationary network if you don't do burns. I don't know if there is any alpha behind this, but this is honestly... This should be huge. This is huge. Absolutely huge, if you ask me. Bjorn, do you have any experience with Tectonic? I went directly to Ampli. Better rates there. Tectonic is though a very good thing, but I was hoping for the Ampli token to also be like a big flyer. The early days of Tectonic were crazy. For anyone wondering, Tectonic is a lending platform. The Tonic token, crazy start. I was hoping for the Ampli token to be somewhat similar. That kind of failed, but still, I prefer Ampli. It's a better rate still. So guys, then let's talk more about this soon. But deflationary, big things here. He knows what's needed from these takes. That's all we know. We're talking about Edward. So we got a new head of ecosystem. He knows what was needed. And that's all we want. More CDC, love for CRO, because CRO is the motor for the machine. It's also the oil. The oil for the chain. It's the gasoline for all wallets. It's everything. CRO is really important, guys, for the whole community. It's true. It's true. Best use case, Cyborg is saying. Stablecoin? Interesting. Still waiting on that, aren't we? Let me bring up the crypto.com roadmap. And sorry, this is Dutch. Let me quickly create it to English. So if we get the roadmap, and they hit the roadmap a little bit, we have to go to About Us, and then we have to go to Roadmap. It should be here. It should be here, guys, the stablecoin. We're still waiting. I hate that, but yeah, it's... I want to get some more information about this. I also want to get a bit more information about this. So we talked about this Cronos 1 application for quite some time during the AMA, also at Mirko. And it was supposed to come later in the year, but it was delayed. He did mention it's delayed, the Cronos 1 application, but still not there. Stock options, also waiting for that one. In general, I'm waiting for anything regarding stocks to come to other parts of the world, so Australia, Canada, the EU. And also regarding banking, so yield on cash, this is not done yet. Trump is very controversial. Is it worth linking so much to his name for crypto.com? He could lose next midterm elections. That's a good question, if it's worth it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's like 50-50. It could be really good, right? I mean, the Trump hype in the crypto scene was really good. So when we had all these partnerships, I would say everybody was cheering for Trump. Trump. He was going to make crypto great again. So nobody was questioning this. Nobody. It was like, yeah, great. Make crypto great again. Make CRO great again. Now though, now the market is going down. Everybody is blaming Trump because yeah, he was the one supposed to make crypto great again. I don't know. I don't think it really matters in the end. It's all about the price. But I'm gonna be honest. The Trump name it's strong. It opens doors, and sometimes you need that. You need to open doors. You need to be like what I think, for example, is that when we this is the wrong screen I want to show you. But I do know that Crypto.com also wants to expand into the Middle East. More and more. Oh, it's actually a good one. You can see, right? We actually went to the Middle East with the Crypto.com Visa cards, for example. In the Middle East, Trump is seen as a big name. Take a look at all the deals that Eric Trump made in the Middle East. It's honestly crazy. If CRO ever hits $2.71, maybe Lambo. Before the end of 2025 was the prediction. Damn, man, time flies. It's only about 27 more days, guys, before we end the year. I want to get a crazy Santa rally. Don't get me wrong. I want to get a crazy Santa rally, but as we talked about, the Santa rally takes some time. I think the Santa rally, if you ask me anything about the upcoming timeline, I do believe that during Christmas we start the run up. I do believe that. I think we might be at about 15 cents during Christmas. But that shouldn't be celebrated like a big win. That should be celebrated as the beginning of something even bigger. But of course, it's still to be seen. I think it's possible though. And as we talked about, like, we started the stream. We literally started the stream saying that we should be holding on here to the green box. And what do? Bitcoin is up again. Bitcoin is jumping up here from the blue line, meaning it's holding on to the green box. Very interesting. Will your participation to the hackathon be related to your new project or something completely different? Your new project. Did I announce anything else? I don't know. I think this is the first time I mentioned it. It's an idea I've been having for a long time already. But yeah, it's not like a big thing. Not like the next wolf swap. It's a single builder program, so don't expect me to change the world. Yeah. So Solid Snake, the questions about the how's it called again? The questions about the Michael Saylor stories, I would say it's more FUD than anything else. It could go wrong, but I think it's more likely that would go very right with the Michael Saylor company. I think more likely that they will soon see more increases of their market share or market cap. Because honestly, if you take a look at the strategy company, MicroStrategy. It's crazy. You see, this is the strategy company, and Bitcoin is still trading at about $80,000, oh, $90,000, 92 even. But the company is down 60%. That's huge. Very huge, guys. Honestly, crazy. In theory, like the fair value of the company should be higher. Like fair value wise, I think the company should be worth about $200. Currently it's $185. And why I'm talking about this, so we can actually take a look at the strategy company. Let me bring it up quickly. Strategy. We can, just based on their own data, we can directly find out how much Bitcoin they have. You can see here, they got about 60 billion Bitcoin. Or 650,000 Bitcoin in their reserve. Crazy. Law wasn't necessary for CryptoKip to call you out on that index to be rebalanced. Yeah, that's a fair take. I think he gave me credit. He gave me enough credit there, so it's fine. Ultra. And he was right as well. So it got rebalanced like the day after I made the tweet. It was good information though, isn't it? It's good information because for anyone wondering what are they talking about now? So we got this thing here on CoinMarketCap. You might have seen it already. We got here the CoinMarketCap 20 Index DTF. This is a token. You can trade this token, and this token will track the top 20 tokens. Unfortunately, we had some bad luck. What's the bad luck? Well, exactly on the 1st of December, the Ton coin briefly overtook CRO. So what happened? There is the top 20. And it every month checks what are the top 20 tokens. And it doesn't include Tether. It doesn't include USDC. It doesn't include the USDE token here. It only includes true crypto that aren't stable coins. So what happens? Number 26, that's the cutoff point, I believe. Or yeah, I think it's number 26. Because we also got DAI here, that's also a stable coin. So the top 20 cryptocurrencies, that's until number 26. Unfortunately, WFI, the World Liberty Financial Token, it overtook both Toncoin and Cronos. So both tokens went down. But Toncoin and Cronos are, changing every X amount of days. So now, if you take a look at the index, They actually removed Cronos. Cronos was in there for a long time, but now they removed the CRO token again. If though we continue like this, in January CRO should be added again and Toncoin will be removed. But honestly, it's not a big deal. Like, it's a very small amount of tokens. So what happened? They bought 85,000 CRO and they sold 85,000 CRO because it was removed here from the index. So yeah, it's a small thing. It's cool. It's cool though that it happened, and I think it's good that Cronos is typically included in those products that are tracking the top 20 tokens. Yeah, it's a fair call. I would say it's a fair call. The German version of Coin Baron. German, yeah. I would say he's a proper English dude, doesn't he? Like, if I would think of an English guy, it's him. It's him. Add a cup of tea. Add some straps. Honestly, if I ever see him, I will give him a few suspenders and we'll take a look if we actually look that much alike. I do not believe, guys, that the strategy company will go down under. That would be very weird. I find it very weird that at this moment, it's basically the same valuation as in July of 2024. And where is Bitcoin in July of 2024? I can tell you that in Bitcoin was way lower. Way lower. What was Bitcoin? At about 70k. And for a company, guys, it's basically it's based on its Bitcoin valuation. It's weird that, well, the underlying asset is worth more. The company now is worth less. That's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, Javello. He is, isn't he? He is. Hey, it's okay. How are you, sir? What do you think the burn will be then? I still believe, like, it's very much like I believe what they want to do with Ethereum, or what they are doing with Ethereum. Let me quickly bring up a site that we might be able to explain it a bit better. Ultrasound Money ETH. Ah, that's a shame. I can't show you this website because we're upgrading now to the Fusaka hard fork. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So I'm gonna explain him, but if you have any questions about this, please feel free to ask. Every transaction that we make on Ethereum, you're paying a gas fee tip, basically. And if you want to be included faster into the block, you pay a higher tip. It's like if you go to the bar, the guys giving tips will probably be helped earlier than the people that are not giving tips. So that's kind of how it works also on Ethereum. But a percentage of that tip is being burned. Or I think maybe even the whole tip is being burned. So every time you make a transaction and you tip, and you always have to tip a little bit on the transactions, or yeah, I think it does. Every time you do that, you will also see that those tips get burned. Therefore, Ethereum is disappearing. I think the best way to also burn CRO is by burning parts of the transaction. And I think they're preparing for this. And why am I saying this? Well, take a look at the following here. I think they are truly preparing for this, because if we take a look here at the blocks, this is a block. And this block had, in total, 4 transactions. And we can see that on the Explorer here, the Cronos Explorer, so this is checking the Cronos EVM chain, it does also show the burned fees. I think they're preparing for this. I think they want to burn the fees. According to the official sources by Leslie, this isn't correct. The calculation is not correct. They're not burning yet this amount of CRO, but I find it strange they even built in this whole explore a thing and not remove this if they don't have any plans with this at all. So I think they will be burning based on transactions. And the more transactions there will be, the more CRO will be burned. That's also how you can have a deflationary system. Versus saying, I think we now have a Black Friday promotion still. I think the prices are truly really spectacularly low still. It's a prolonged Black Friday deal. Jay, welcome. Just keep buying. Just keep buying. I think it's still a good time to buy. Talking about that, we do need to make a new video. Is it time to buy? And yeah, spoiler, yeah, it's still time to buy. $5 billion. Yeah, we got the $5 billion war chest, $5 billion war chest still for Bitcoin, for Cronos with MCGA. We also got some other news by Star Fox, and I didn't miss this, but I think it's still a big deal. So Crypto.com is now partnering with Fanatics in the US for prediction markets, and that's a really big move because I do believe that Fanatics is a recent, quite decent company, quite decent size as well. They might be waiting for better conditions for the stablecoin. I don't know. I don't know if they're waiting for better conditions. Maybe they are. Did the CRO staking rewards just go up to about 6.60%? That's actually quite possible, Mr. QBA, because I do know that many people have been unstaking their CRO. So what's unstaking? Well, unstaking means that you are no longer putting it on the card or no longer putting it on the on-chain staking service. So what I personally think, and that might be the case here, people are scared of the CRO price. People think, oh, no, I need to be liquid. So therefore, if you are staking, guys, you cannot sell. So if you want to sell, you need to unstake. I think people are afraid of a potential bear market, and therefore they are unstaking. But just in case they want to sell, they can. And the more people that unstake, well, the less people that get rewards. So the more rewards you will get per person. That's also why it might go up a little bit. I need to check though the exact numbers. But I think that's definitely one of the reasons why we are seeing a higher percentage. Yeah, anyway, so what's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is hovering still, which is good. Higher lows, higher highs. I like that. In the green box. Are we next Monday going to 99? I don't know, guys. Typically, the weekend, there won't be that much price action, but we will see, of course, on the weekly close episode upcoming Sunday. So for anyone wondering, every Thursday and every Sunday, we do have a live stream. So we're going to check the markets. We're going to check how the weekly candles close. And again, I talk about this a lot, but we need to close above 92 for Bitcoin. Above about, or is it? So for Cronos specifically, we need to stay above the rainbow chart band here, which is exactly 10.5. 10.5. As long as CRO keeps above 10.5 and Bitcoin stays above 92, I think we have a very decent chance for a crazy good weekly close here. But let's see. On that note, though, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough for today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk in more detail about this whole shebang we call the crazy slide deck, the investor deck here. And then, yeah, let's talk about this. CRO being deflationary, big thing here. And let's talk a bit more about MCGA in general, because I believe, guys, Q1 could be huge thanks to the MCGA company. So I would say let's make CRO great again with the Trop Media Group CRO strategy company. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to you soon again on Sunday, and enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy, guys. Get ready for the Santa rally. Strap in. Hit the like. Hit the like, guys. Been planning for months. All my stacking for CROs free to trade. Yeah, I think Cyborg, that's clever. Get ready. Get strapped in, guys. It's time for Santa rally. Isn't it? Yes, also don't forget to follow 10K by Christmas, please. We can do that. We're getting very close now. Guys, thank you so much. Toodaloo.